Okay, let's try this again. Welcome back to Noli's Adventures in Baldur's Gate 3, the series that only sometimes features Noli these days, because the creator is a butt. This is, the third or fourth time I've tried to end Act 1. After a few crashes and, genuine difficulty spikes, because of the final boss of Act 1, this is my latest attempt. But one of my biggest failures was in last video, when I attempted to fight the final boss with absolutely no wild shape charges remaining. And, as you may know, a druid without the ability to turn into animals is just a hippie. So I got thrashed pretty hard. So to rectify that, the team is now camping. We're in the middle of a long rest, and in the midst of the night, it looks like Astarion has something to say to us. So let's go chat with him.
Don't waste a step. Always makes my day better.
There you are, my friend.
Did she say he always makes her day better? Are you drunk?
I have drunk. Not alcohol, of course. A bear. He took a little of my blood. I took all of his.
Where did you find a bear down here?
I mean, I think he was a bear. Big head, 4 legs, hair that gets stuck in your teeth. Whatever it was, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, as long as you're leaving my blood alone.
You think I'd kill you just like that?
Yes.
Darling, I would never. I still need you. Anyway, the bear will sustain me, and it's a marked improvement over the rats and flies Cazador would feed me.
Does it matter? Blood is blood, isn't it?
Not at all. Blood is life essence, and some creatures have so much more life than others. Cazador gave me just enough to keep me, well, alive, for lack of a better word, but never more than that. Still, that was the past. I'll never have to grovel for him again.
True. You can start over. You can be better than what he made you. This character is kind of on the same path, trying to overcome the her darker natures and become better for the journey.
Exactly. I can be better than him. Stronger. More powerful. More...
No, he wants to be a supervillain. You took that the wrong way. The glare.
You meant be kinder. Pet bunnies, that sort of thing.
Well, yeah.
I've no objection to being nice, of course. Once I have the power to bend others to my will.
Okay, but like, why wouldn't you want to pet bunnies? Have you ever tried to pet a bunny? You think power lets you do anything free from consequences? Sir, I will drag you into the light with me if I have to.
Well, yes. You can't look at the world and tell me I'm wrong.
That hits a bit that hits a bit too close to home, Astarion. A bit too IRL there. Yeah. Careful, there are heroes about. I'd hate for them to get the right idea about you.
Let them. Heroes are half the damn problem. Fools that believe in right and wrong, good and evil. Heroes didn't save me from Cazador. Mind flayers did. They gave me a gift. The strength to take my own freedom. I'm embracing this power. You should too.
Interesting conversation, interesting point, interesting character. Let's see who else is here. Scratch is hanging out. He's on loan from Noli's camp. Or Gale teleported him here. Whatever you want to believe. Let's talk to the gnome that we saved. Barkus Root. You saved him twice over. Well, Noli saved him at the windmill, and Nis saved him from the dark elf in the forge.
I thank you for the invitation to your camp. It's, well appointed, not too crowded, perfect for thinking. And I've been doing just that.
What about?
It's about Wulbrin. We know he's been taken to Moonrise Towers, and we know I'm going to save him. The problem is this. A preponderance of evidence that I am a terrible adventurer. I'm not sure I should trust Wulbrin's fate to, well, me.
That's the first thing I say when I wake up in the morning. There's a preponderance of evidence that I am terrible. I'm not sure I should be trusted. I'm destined for Moonrise Towers. I could look for him.
You've done so much already. I'm hesitant to prevail upon you again. But I can't risk recapture. I barely escaped last time. You'd do it then. You'd look for him.
I'm not one to turn down a side quest. I will.
That's very decent of you. Thank you. There's something else you should know. Something I can no longer ignore. I know you've learned about the gnome's pursuit of rune powder, but do you know what it truly is?
I mean, I've been exploded by it, so I have the feeling you're about to tell me.
A telepath. Until very recently, I thought rune powder was a myth. A substance so powerful it could fell a city. A nation. The Iron Hand gnomes have proven the impossible. Rune powder is real, and they have it in their possession.
The Iron Hand gnomes. Sounds like they'd be great at slapping. What do they want to do with it?
Destruction. The only thing it's good for. But destruction of what? Well, I'm hoping Wulbrin will be able to tell us. I shouldn't have let him drift away. Shouldn't have let that lot get their claws into him. Now more than ever, I need to find him. We need to find him. He's the
She
only
looks so
one
disinterested.
I might be able to speak to sensibly.
I get it. She's like, oh my gosh. So you're telling me that on top of everything else I have to do today, there's a group of terrorist gnomes who want to use an explosive powder for terrorism. Fine. My mountain of problems just gets bigger. I'll find your friend, and together we'll stop the Iron Hand gnomes.
I'd kiss you, but neither of us deserve that. Thank you.
I like this guy. What can you tell me about Moonrise Towers?
I haven't been there myself. The area around it is, well, cursed. Terrifyingly so. I did hear something interesting, though. There are shades that plague the path to the towers. Shades that fear not steel, but light. Dwergar, who mentioned it, sounded truly traumatized. It was almost amusing.
Fear the light? I can relate to that. In fact, I've got a guy in my party who can relate to that. But also, I can relate to that. There's something else I'd like to discuss.
Like what?
Let's just go for it. What will you do if Wulbrin is dead? What will you do if your friend is just
I suppose I'd be very, very sad.
Obviously.
Then, after a while, I'd find whoever killed him and put a smoke powder bomb in their trousers.
Whoa. This guy's going straight for the pants. Explosive pants. I like the way he thinks. Explosive pants. Your smoke powder bombs. Are you an alchemist?
Alchemist, tinkerer, adventurer, curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon.
I wear many hats. Most with great enthusiasm. Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome. Tell me a little more about yourself.
Barkus Root. is my name. Baldur's Gate is my home. Back in the city, I offered my expertise to the highest bidder. I was quite popular, too. I'm not picky about my customers.
Okay. Let's check in with the other members of our party, and if they got nothing to say, then we can move on.
Well met.
Will met. Yeah, let's talk about. What do you think of the illithid potential the Dream Visitor spoke of?
I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious. But once you take an illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you.
We face untold dangers, Will. Shouldn't we seize every possible advantage? 18. This is not going to end well. I'm one off!
I appreciate where you're coming from. Truly, I do. But these parasites are quite literally illithid weapons of war. And I'm not so certain they won't be turned against us upon consuming them.
I'll let him have his convictions. You know what? You don't need your companions to agree with you 100% of the time.
Shah's blessings upon you.
I feel like I've already kind of covered this with Noli's section. How do you feel about me personally?
Fine. What's on your mind?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Alright, we're doing well.
After all, what I shared with you about my past, about being saved from the wolf, that is not something I would normally even dream of sharing.
Okay, we're on good terms. Also, it was just a wolf. Alright, time for sleeps. And then we're going to get pummeled by the boss, and you will see why he is such a pain. Okay, so for this next bit, I'm actually speaking from the future, and the reason for that is, it was just, it took me north of 15 attempts to get this next part down. Just between the constant crashing and the boss just being a general butt. So the easiest way to proceed was to, honestly, just comment over a previous recording. So as you can see, I've pulled the lever, a hammer comes down, and we are descending into hell. Which is where the boss lives.
That did the trick all right. And down it goes.
Down it goes indeed.
Wonder if the gods are watching.
So finally, at long last, I'm going to be able to show off exactly what makes this boss a incredible pain in the butt. And it starts by turning the wheel. Lava starts flowing. Now again, we're trying to forge a mace, so we have to heat the metal, bring the hammer down on top of it to mold the metal. But no sooner do we turn on the lava, this happens. There's something in the lava! It's a robot. A biggin. Okay. This is Grim, the hardest boss in Act 1. So fortunately this time I'm rocking some new... Well, I'm better prepared this time. For one, I've got Owlbear form, which I'm going to tell Nis to turn into off the start. But first, I need to get Astarion to a safe place, because Grim is resistant to slicing damage, so like blades and stuff, as well as arrows. So Astarion can't do much against that robot. On top of that, the entire battlefield is filled with lava.
Catch my breath.
Now, if we step in the lava, bad things happen. Lava is still lava after all. But we want the battlefield... We can turn the lava off by turning the wheel, but we actually... we don't want to do that. We want the battlefield to be filled with lava. Because Grim has...
Another day.
Yep. So Grim has a passive. He has an effect right now called Superheated. If he's standing in the lava, or if he's recently walked through the lava, he takes bonus damage. This is like the only way to bring this guy down. If you start whacking on him when he's not superheated, you do nothing. It's like trying to fight a Komodo dragon with a feather.
Heading there.
And of course, he's also resistant to fire damage, but I don't find that out at this point because Shadowheart has missed the attack anyway. And on top of that, because he's just such a massive pain, the more the battle proceeds on. Also, hang on. Right now he's using his FPS attack, which is spam the battlefield with lava and crash my FPS so that it looks like I'm playing a slideshow. But if that's not the worst bit, the more damage he takes, the more abilities he gains. He starts like causing earthquakes like halfway through the game or the fight. Now the easiest way to deal with this guy is to drop the hammer on him.
Never a dull moment.
As you saw before, pulling the lever not only brought us down to this lower level, but it also caused a hammer to smack into the middle. That will damage Grim, but again, only if he's superheated. So what you have to do is bait him to walk into the middle of the battlefield so that he's standing under that hammer platform while superheated, which means that the battlefield has to be full of lava. He has to walk through the lava. He has to stop exactly at that point, and then you can drop the hammer on him. And even then, it won't kill him. Like it'll take like 2 or 3 times, unless you've like whittled his health down enough. But if you saw before, he's rocking 300 health. So this is the winning run. These are clips that I've edited together that show off like the attempt that I actually do it without crashing, without him just generally like obliterating my team, which he's done multiple times before. Owlbear is clutch for this run. Like if I didn't have Nis as the Owlbear, like I just wouldn't be able to do it. Like she is effectively the tank. Everyone else, like he can down a 1 or 2 hits. He attacks multiple times per turn, and one attack, if he lands one attack, it's like 29 health gone right there. So even though Astarion can't do damage, I had him attack Grim, because Grim has another passive where he will get enraged. If an attack lands, he gets enraged, and he will try to follow that target. So that you can use that to your advantage to kind of bait him under the hammer. But again, I'm realizing now the lava, like he turned the lava off with one of his abilities. So I need to like decide whether or not it's a good idea to turn it back on, because he needs to walk through that before stopping at the hammer, or else he just won't take damage. He takes like no damage, absolutely no damage if he's not superheated. This is like a perpetual battle of like blacksmithing.
Finish this.
So I do turn the lava back on. Rest in peace, my FPS. It was already pooped to begin with.
This is my time.
So I'm seeing that like he's targeting Astarion. So I'm kind of like I'm trying to plan out my next move. Like once Grim takes his turn, he's gonna walk towards Astarion. And I'm hoping he stops under the hammer, and he does. Yes, yeah, he does. So now I do nothing. I just need to have someone pull the lever and drop the hammer on him. And I just want I want to point out like this is like the best. This is the best attempt. Like there are many ways that this can go wrong, and it has gone wrong. This is like after 15 attempts. So if it looks simple, it's just not. Like you could have like a party member like opportunity attack him as he tries to walk away, and the second that happens, he'll just stop walking and then target whoever attacked him. I might as well be wielding a feather. She even says it. So he took a huge chunk because he was superheated, but now he's no longer superheated. And on top of that, he has spawned magma mephits off to the side. Yep, there they are, flying. Because what's a boss if he doesn't summon, you know, ads, right?
Battle favors the fearless.
So I'm realizing here I can get a couple more shots off with Will. But again, he's not superheated, which means he takes no damage.
2 steps at a time.
Astarion gives voice to my pain. So here I'm thinking, well, maybe I could take a bunch of them out if I use AoE arrow attacks. Kinda works. I gotta drink a potion of speed here to get an additional attack. I do indeed. And you can tell just like you can tell how serious business this boss is just because like he has a unique theme song. Like you can hear like the operatic background. Oh, oh, oh. Like I think this is the only part that song plays. Like, that's the music score saying, "Oh, you're in trouble, buddy. Your butt is roast."
Idle.
So, yeah, I do hopness over there as the bear, as the owl bear. To try and pummel him a bit more, because at this point I loathe this guy. I'm just eager to just pummel him into bits. But of course, he's still not superheated. He needs to walk through the lava for that to happen. So I have Will counterattack with a fire spell on a fire enemy because I'm stupid. He takes no damage and I waste a spell slot. Meanwhile, it causes Will to drop his weapon. I try to double tap one of them, but just not enough damage. Can't kill it outright. Yeah, so now he's going to start, like... I think that ability turns off the lava? No, he doesn't. So fortunately, Nis missed there. If Nis actually... See, look at that. That's massive AoE. If Nis had actually hit with her paw, the robot would have turned around and started focusing her instead of Astarion. And he would not have walked through the lava, and therefore would not have gotten superheated. So yeah, like, that's how messed up this battle is. Like, sometimes missing an attack is what you need to have happen. Now, I'll admit, I'm probably incredibly stupid, and there's probably a way to turn off opportunity attacks that I just haven't checked for. You know what? I'm actually like 80% sure there is a way to turn off opportunity attacks. Yes, please. So again, Astarion can't damage Grim. All his ability, like he's a rogue, so he's using like slashy weapons, which still do nothing to him, even when he's superheated. So I just focus the method instead, and he actually takes him down.
They're dying for me.
And this is unhinged as usual. But in this case, it's justified. I want this guy to die. That was a good whack. That would have been a good whack, but it missed. So, Will has like a vampire kind of ability. I drain this guy's life. Kinda cool. At this point, it's just a whacking battle between two titans. Giant robot and owlbear. But like, again, like you can see how much mileage I'm getting just from the owlbear form. Like, I don't think it happens in this run, but I've got, like, so many recordings of this guy just one-shotting the rest of my teammates. Because he walks over uncontested and just, like, pummels them twice in the face, and then causes an earthquake. Like, again, this is the luckiest run that results in a win.
Blood comes easy these days.
It's unfortunate because I'm like because Nis is a level 6 druid, I think level 6, or it might be 5. Either way, 5 or 6. She can attack twice and then still have a bonus ability to heal herself. So between Nis's self-healing and Shadowheart's actual healing, because she's a cleric, Nis never gets knocked out of her owlbear form. Like, I was worried about that happening, and then him just like obliterating her poor supple elf form, but luckily that doesn't actually happen in this run. So yeah, now Will is the target for Grim. He's locked on. I save again to prevent another crash, because that has happened multiple times. And for some reason, in this clip, the frame rate just fixes itself. I don't know why. It just looks, it's so much smoother now. I need to figure out what's going on here. But yeah, because Nis has missed, Nis missed, the robot walks towards Will, and the fool he is, he's standing underneath the hammer once again. So, like, he's got like sub 100 health now. So all I need to do is wait and have Shadowheart pull the lever. Yeah, check his health. He's got like less than 100. So that hammer will kill him. So I think for a second, and I smartly heal Shadowheart before walking over to the lever because it's covered by lava. I don't want her to burn to death in the attempt. That'd be a fun way to end this. Hammer comes down, and Grim is dead. Not a moment too soon. Exactly, Shadowheart. Not a moment too soon. At this point, I'm doing a happy dance because I am so thoroughly done with this boss. This has like delayed videos for a week. On top of crashing issues that I've been having, which may or may not be connected to the zone itself. So I'm like, none of my companions have anything to say, but I do check just in case. But like, oh my goodness, this boss! Like, I should have turned down the difficulty. I mean, I'm only like on like the basic or normal difficulty, which is standard for the experience.
Shah's blessings
But like,
upon you.
I didn't have it in me to just turn down the difficulty. And the ironic thing is, I've done this before. Like, I've made it to Act 2 before, but like throughout the entire fight, I don't remember how. Like, I must have struggled like this, but I don't remember it. So, I go over, I loot the prize, and then I drop the hammer on Ness. No, I'm just kidding. That would be cruel. But you could if you wanted to. That's a pretty cool helmet. Fire resistant. So there are tons of treasures that you could get in this dungeon just by wearing that helmet and walking through the fire. I'm eager to end Act 1, so I'm probably going to do that off camera, if anything. Like, just general exploration, general looting. Because there's no reason to show that. But otherwise, the hammer itself is pretty cool to use on its own. So I do equip it. And then because transmog isn't a thing, they have an option to hide helms if they just don't go with the rest of your mog. So I just hide the helmet. It's still there, like stat-wise, though. And I also pick up the mace for Shadowheart. The mace that we went through all the trouble to make. You know, always does critical hit damage. It's, you know, it's fine. You know, the real goal is the XP we made along the way. So finally, the boss is done.
Must lug my guts through
Yes,
this hell.
must luck your guts in this. So yeah, the rest of the exploration I'm going to be doing off camera. Up next, there are a few final conversations to be had, and
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
then we'll actually just
Nothing
walk.
hurts anymore.
We'll walk our two main heroines into Act 2, and there's like a cutscene for that introduces it. Yeah, I think I'll save that for the next video. I'm just out of time for recording. It's took me so long. But if I can get around to it tonight, I'll post that next. But yeah, for now, you're just gonna watch me push a button, go back up. Yeah. So anyway, for the gnome that's watching, heal well, and I hope everything turns out okay. For everybody else, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.